Welcome guys to the Meet Damian channel. I am Damian. Hopefully you guys are able to hear me. I think I turned on that mic volume. Yep, I did. Alright, awesome. Today's live stream, we're going to be looking for some buying opportunities in the market because we have seen a lot of red over the last few hours. Earlier this morning, we saw Bitcoin get down as low as like a 100. Oh wait, really? It did wow, it got down that low? 109,945. Around not what I mean, I gotta see if this is I gotta see if this is right. Let me just double check the charts here on the daily time frame. Did we get as low as 109,000? Yeah, we did get as low as 109,945 earlier this morning. Let's get into the 1 hour time frame here. I know Bitcoin took a little bit of a dip, but I didn't realize it was that far down. $109,945 around 9 a.m. Eastern time here. However, that did fire off a signal here on Market Cipher B. That was the bottom for now. You had momentum curving up to the upside here. You also had the money flow curving up to the upside here. So this was a good opportunity. And then you had the green buy dots here that came in on the 1 hour time frame. I mean, it was a little bit tricky because you had a green buy dot and a red sell dot and then a green buy dot. And this is just the ebbs and flows of the market. But when you're seeing money flow curving up to the upside here, and then also the momentum curving up to the upside, and it's triggering right near like the bottom of these buy bars here. Okay, these horizontal lines here. It's like kind of like an RSI. For those who use the RSI, like this was oversold conditions right here. That was a good time to put in some leverage longs, and I did get into some leverage longs. We'll try to take a look at see how they're doing on my portfolio here. But yeah, I actually got into a pretty nice banger of a trade last night. CoAI was the trade that I got into last night. I identified that CoAI looked like the best chart I could find out of all the coins that I was going through on the market. And CoAI was just it just, I mean, I'll show you what I was looking for CoAI. Let's get into it, okay? So I was looking for trades last night, looking for longs because I knew we were taking a dip, but I was like, all right, this is just probably going to be buying opportunities. But here we got CoAI currently up 52%. Jesus Christ, up $3 pretty much for the day. And this is what I was seeing last night with CoAI, okay? I saw a potential double bottom or maybe a higher low, however you want to qualify it. We saw CoAI around like 7 o'clock last night, bottoming out near like $5.57. Let me just turn the music down a little bit on my end. And Market Cipher B had the signal here saying that was the bottom around like 8 o'clock last night. Then I saw that the money flow was trending upward. I saw momentum. The blue part was also curving to the upside. We had one last sell-off here, like a red dot, just to try to confirm these lows were being put in on CoAI. And yeah, I got in right after that red candle here. I got in last night. Bought like, I think around like $5.90. I didn't catch the lows. I'm not that good. I'm not that great. I was trying to buy at 570 if it went lower than that, like 570, 565, but it only went as low as like 577. Then you had another green buy dot on the 1 hour time frame saying that, yeah, you're good, bro, to continue on. And then what I liked seeing and I was looking for was money flow, this red turning into green here, saying that we can continue to go to higher prices here. And then I saw the momentum also cross over to the upside. And I was like, oh wow, this is a banger of a trade here. I'm gonna stay in this trade. And I went to bed and I woke up this morning like up 400%. You guys can see that in my Discord here, right? On Discord, I put that I left the CoAI trade open from last night, took partial profits, and I'm still waiting for $10 to take the rest of the profit. But yeah, that's what it looked like there on Mexi for me when I took profit at like $8.55 here. Yeah, up 447% on a 10x long on CoAI. Not bad. It doesn't always happen that way. I mean, I was trying to get into a Sui trade last night too, and I got knocked out of my Sui trade. But the CoAI trade was able to stay on the board for me, and luckily I made some money off of that. Yeah. I see John 316's in the chat. Good to see you, bro. How you doing? Let's see. I'm gonna restart my TikTok live because TikTok was giving me problems again. So guys, if you want to just stay with me, I'm gonna restart the stream here. Let's see, what are they saying? It's my live visibility has been restricted because it contains unoriginal. Or guys, does this seem like unoriginal content to you? Me talking about technical analysis, because that's what TikTok's trying to complain about right now. But yeah, TikTok can be annoying. Yeah, I'll go on it and say, yeah, TikTok can be annoying sometimes. And yeah, we're just gonna restart the stream here. All right. I see CC's in the chat here. CC, if you just bear with me, I'm gonna restart the TikTok here, TikTok live stream. All right, let's do it. Be back with you guys. All right, let's go ahead and restart this live stream for my TikTok guys. Scouting buying opportunities, edit my live goal. Good. And we're going live again for TikTok. John 316 wants to take a look at Kronos, Pepe, and ZBCN. All right, I got you on that. And ZBCN. Just to show you guys some other things here, I actually did get into some other trades here early this morning when I woke up. I saw some opportunities here to get into Solana and Ethereum, and right now I'm in a Solana long, entry in at $195. Current price is $202, up about $100 on that trade there. And then Ethereum, let's see, Ethereum, I got in at 39.65 and we're at 41.04, so Ethereum is doing pretty well. And I just saw earlier this morning, like, yeah, things were kind of looking bleak, but there was also some money flow coming into these assets here. So let's look at Ethereum real quick before I look at Kronos for John 316. And I see DZ's in the chat asking for SQD. I got you, DZ. But let me look at Ethereum real quick. I got into this Ethereum long because I saw some potential money flow flowing into the asset here. And on the market side for B, like we saw, like the bottom came in at around Saturday. Okay, so obviously money is starting to curve back into Ethereum, at least on the 4-hour time frame here. And we got like kind of like a crossover right over here on Sunday, when Trump said that he was just kidding about the tariffs on China. Let's get into the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame. What I saw this morning with Ethereum was, yeah, we came down. Momentum was to the downside, but we started curving around like 8 to 9 a.m. We got a green buy dot that came in at 10 a.m. Saying that, hey, money's coming into the market right now. And also, with this red, yeah, the money flow is in the red right now, but this thing is curving back up right now, and we could get like a flip later on this afternoon and maybe start seeing green again, and that should be just a signal that we're getting continuation of higher prices here for Ethereum. So I'm looking for that. We'll see. This thing could just decide to just go back to being red again and increasing. So we shall see. There are no guarantees, but I'm liking the direction of the money flow right now on Market Cipher B. And you can see that's starting to reflect here in the price, right? on the 1 hour time frame. You know, I got in at Ethereum like 39.65 earlier this morning, and we got some green candles that are coming in to justify me getting in at those low prices there. Also, this is like a higher low that's being formed compared to the lows here on Saturday, so that's good to see. What I want to see next for Ethereum on the 1 hour time frame is, can we get above this 200 moving average, on the 1 hour time frame, which acted as resistance around Monday evening. I want to see us actually get above that, make a higher high than what we did here yesterday when we were as high as like 42.95. I want to see 4,300 or higher for Ethereum, and I feel like we got to start making these moves now, because people starting to wonder, like, you know, did we top out on Ethereum and did we top out on crypto? You know, earlier this month, you know, when we saw Ethereum at 49.50 and we saw Bitcoin at 126K. Is that it for now? You know, people started to wonder that. All right, and the other thing, you know, looking at the weekly time frame, let's get into the bigger time frame here for Ethereum. Okay. Even though there is some promise, you know, there's some potential here on the smaller time frames, on the weekly time frame, you know, this is what I don't like to see. We're seeing money flow actually going down on the weekly time frame for Ethereum. So money is leaving, and that's not good. And then you got this top signal back here in August. Ugh, not good, not good. All right, we want to see money go back up and start increasing again on the weekly time frame, kind of like what we saw back here in like January of 2024 and February 2024, where money flow kind of came back down, but then we started seeing money flow increase again. Could we get something like that? And yeah, we got to pay attention to these top signals on Market Cipher B. Okay, but I mean, can we get money flow to increase and maybe do a double top? That'd be nice, right? Maybe one last hoorah for Ethereum before it all comes crashing down again. We shall see. We shall see. Just trying to give you guys a little bit of hopium out there. But let's move on to Kronos, and then we'll take a look at SQD, and then we'll come back to those other coins for John 3:16. Let's look at Kronos. Kronos currently trading at 16.5 cents roughly. And I'm on the weekly time frame. Let me get into the daily time frame. Daily time frame for Kronos. Obviously, Kronos has been in a downtrend ever since like the end of August. Okay. And the only saving grace that Kronos had was it was still kind of in an uptrend. But then you just put the nail in the coffin, you violated the uptrend, so you're still in a downtrend on Kronos, unfortunately. And I don't know if I kind of have to redraw the lines now, right? But this was the downtrend, but now I guess this is the new downtrend for Kronos. So we'll just pay attention. Like we won't get overly bullish on Kronos until it can actually break past this downtrend, this yellow line here. Okay. Also breaking past the 50 moving average would be nice. And 21 EMA is coming down like a bat out of hell. It's sitting at 19 cents. It could act as resistance. This could be like, if you're not drawing the downtrend, the 21 EMA is also acting as a downtrend as well. So the 21 EMA, gotta pay attention to that on the daily time frame. Gonna act as resistance at like 19 cents right now. And then of course you also got the 0.236 level right above you at 19, almost 20 cents, 0.197 pennies to be exact. That could act as resistance. So you got some resistance for Kronos. After you get past 18 cents, going up to like 20 cents. It's gonna be tough for Kronos to break past that. You are getting a red candle right now on Kronos, so maybe Kronos is starting to get some discounts for you. You could be getting some discounted prices on Kronos. I want to see if Kronos can maintain this 100-day moving average, that blue line, as support. That's sitting at 15 cents right now. If you don't use that as support, then what's next? Then you maybe got the 200-day moving average, this red line at 13.5 cents. I'd rather see you just remain more bullish than that and actually stay above the 100-day moving average, but you do have the 200-day moving average as your last resort, last line of defense. And if you lose 13.5 cents, I think it's game over for this rally in Chronos, and you know, Chronos could come down to where it was in July when it was at like 8 cents. So you could see a 50% discount. I'd probably put my stop loss in at like 13 cents, 13.5 cents. Because how much more money are you willing to lose on your Chronos trade going bad on you? Okay. It's been bad ever since, like, I mean, it was good up in August and then been bad in September, and now it's being even worse in October. So I gave you some downside targets, upside targets, 18, 19, 20 cents. Once you get past 20 cents, then there is a 0.382, which you think would provide some resistance at 23.5 cents, and then you got the hopefully you can get back up to the 618 at like 30 cents, and that'd be a double from where you are right now. And I think that's all you can ask out of Chronos for now, is can you get back up to 29, 30 cents for like a long-term take profit target. Let's see how my TikTok guys are doing in the chat right now. Coming on over to you guys, seeing what you guys are saying. I see CC's back in here. Thank you for liking the live stream, CC. We're at like 49 likes over here. Let's see if we can double tap some more, get it up to 100 likes if possible. Get some more people to show up on the live stream. I feel like TikTok is throttling me down again. Because they don't want me talking about crypto here apparently on TikTok. But we're talking about crypto because there is some buying opportunities out there. Not sure if Chronos is one of them, but this is not a bad area to get into and strategically place a stop loss, you know, below the 200-day moving average at 13 cents, and you wouldn't really be risking too much on that Chronos long. I see Steve is in the chat. Good to see you, Steve. And then John says we're gonna have a meetup when you cash out. Oh, okay, interesting. You coming down to Massachusetts? You gonna come say hi to me? CC wants to take a look at RSR. Alright. We'll take a look at RSR. We're gonna look at SQD first for DZ over here, and then we'll look at RSR, and then maybe do Pepe and ZBCN after that. Let's look at SQD. Now, I'm sure we looked at SQD yesterday. I'm not sure how much has changed, but we're looking at it again for you. And SubSquid, currently trading at 17 cents, down 10% today. Could this be a buying opportunity? You got some support here off the 21 exponential moving average on the daily time frame. That's sitting at 0.168 pennies here. Then you got some more support probably at this 50 moving average, which I think a lot of traders probably have. I'm not sure how many have the 21 EMA, but I think a good majority of them have the 50 moving average on the daily time frame, and that's sitting at 13 cents. That's also right where your 0.236 Fibonacci's at. So I would say, yeah, you could buy some now, you know, especially after you get a red candle here. But maybe you might be able to get some cheaper SubSquid at like 13 cents here, where that 50 moving average is confluent with the 0.236 retracement here. Okay, if you did come down there though, you kind of are violating a little uptrend that you're making right now on SubSquid, so I'm not sure if that would be nice to see. There could be a little bit of panic here, like, oh my god, we're violating the uptrend, only for you to get support off the 50 moving average and the 0.236 level here. But if we're not going to go down, if this is the lowest price you can get for SubSquid, and we maintain this uptrend, which, you know, this 21 EMA is kind of almost showing you the uptrend right now. But if you maintain that uptrend, you're trying to at least get back up to that 618 golden pocket at 21 cents. Look at that, 21.69 for those that know. And then you get the 6.5 golden pocket at 22 cents. This will probably be your day, if you're day trading this is going to be like your take profit for your day trade. It might take a couple of days to get up there. Alright, like kind of like a long-term day trade, but is what you're targeting for your long-term day trade, right? Short-term swing trade. And if you are trying to stay in this for a swing trade, then we're gonna see if we can get back up to 30 cents like we saw on October 9th here. If you do that, then you know we got the 1272, which could show us that subsquid could get up to like 36, 37 cents here. And then you got the 1618 saying that we could get up to like 44, 45 cents later on in the future, maybe later on this year for subsquid. But I think subsquid is doing fine. Looks like it started trading on Coinbase here in June. It was at like 28 cents back in June. So you would think it would try to at least get back up to that level again. Okay, and let's just turn the oscillators real quick, see what the money flow market cipher B is doing. On the daily time frame, money flow is starting to creep down, so that is not the best thing to see on the daily time frame. Let's see what it looks like on a weekly time frame. There's nothing, not much data on the weekly time frame. It's like almost nothing here. 3-day time frame, got a little bit of money flow, and it is increasing on the 3-day. But let's get into the smaller time frames. 4-hour time frame, momentum has come to the downside. I think you're waiting for a green buy dot to show up. When you see a green buy dot show up on market cipher B on the 4-hour time frame, that could be your confirmation signal that it's time to get into subsquid now, and you might be riding this thing up to higher prices. Okay, let's see. Maybe there's a possibility that on the 1-hour time frame it might have already printed. So on the 1-hour time frame, you have come down to the RSI. This is like kind of like the RSI. This is your horizontal buy zone bars here, which are showing that this is a good area to buy. When you see a green buy dot come in around these buy zone bars, it's usually like a bottom or a low. And yeah, sometimes a little bit of a fake out where you get a red that prints after a green. But look, you got another green coming in, and you got momentum. This blue area is curving upward. Yeah, money flow has been in the red in the 1-hour time frame, but it looks like he had a curve upward over here. And if you can get some more curve going back up, maybe you might get a flip. And if you get a crossover where you start seeing green, that just lets you know that this thing's gonna continue going to higher prices here on the 1-hour time frame for market cipher B. So pay attention to that. Okay, and for those of you guys who want to know where you get the market cipher B indicator, you just go into indicators here. I use market cipher B by Welo Trades on TradingView. Okay, that's the market cipher B indicator that I'm using as of now, and it kind of tells you like some signals here. It even puts in some emojis here, like you got the bull, like saying this is the bull, this is the bottom, and then you get the top signal right here saying, yo, you should sell, it's topping out. Okay, and then you even get like a bearish signal here too, like, hey, bearish signal, it's the way things are going. You got a little emoji here helping you out figure out, you know, whether you should be bullish or bearish. And market cipher B is helping you out here. Very powerful indicator, okay, that I want to start using some more on my live streams here for you guys. Okay, but yeah, subsquid, I think on the 1-hour time frame it's okay to buy, right? You're buying at the same price that people were buying last Thursday, before we got that huge pump up on like Thursday, you know, morning, and going into Thursday, Thursday night into Friday morning. All right, so you're buying at the same price that these people did, and then could you get a nice, you know, launch up to higher prices after that? I think it's worth taking a shot, and you can strategize your stop loss. Like if you're not gonna really risk too much, just put your stop loss below candlewick lows here on the 1-hour time frame at like 16.5 cents. You're not really risking that much. You're still buying it under 17 cents at like 16.98, and you put your stop loss at like 16.5 really tight, and you could, you know, not risk that much to be in this trade. If you get stopped out, then you're wrong, and maybe you're able to buy it at like 16 or 15 cents, but I see this as a buying opportunity for you, DZ. That could be a buying opportunity, and you don't have to risk too much. Down the Rabbit Hole is in the live stream. Good to see you, Down the Rabbit Hole. Thank you for hitting that like button. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Taking a look at some cryptos here. Looking at the money flow indicator as well. Market Cipher B indicator here. Saying that Subsquid could be a potential buying opportunity if you're inclined to do so. And you don't really have to risk too much because you put your stop loss at like 16.5 cents and you're still buying it for like 16.98 over here. Real tight stop loss. If I was to measure it out on the long position, you know, like where would you take profit here? Let me see. If I just move this stop loss to like 16, you said 16.5. Okay, so you're only risking like 2 or 3% on your stop loss. And how far would I take this? I mean, you could take this up to the 200-day moving average, that red line on the 1 hour time frame, and it'll be up 11%. Your risk reward is 4.0, better than 3. Anything better than 3 is great. You just want 3 as a normal risk-reward ratio, okay? But if you're in this for a longer term, you think you could push this thing up to where it was at like 23 pennies last Friday, then look what your risk-reward ratio turns into. This thing could go up like 39%, and your risk-reward is like 13.8. You know, slap on 10x leverage, that becomes a 390% gain. And with 10x leverage, your 2% stop loss is actually 28% here. Not too bad to get into a leverage long for a 10x leverage on Subsquid. Might be worth getting into. All right, let's look at RSR for CC over here. Let's get back into the higher time frames here, daily time frame. RSR, I believe that's reserve rights. It's on Coinbase exchange. This is data's coming from Coinbase. And I'm just looking at the market structure before I get into the indicators here. You were topping out here in May at like about a penny. Then you made a lower low here, lower high, higher low, lower high still, then a lower low, lower high, lower. So like you're not really doing what you need to do to be in an uptrend here. You gotta make higher lows, higher highs, and you consistently been making lower highs here. Even though you kind of made a higher low here, that was it. That was the only higher low back here in August. Then you made a lower high and then a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So like the betting man would be like, all right, we're gonna short this thing because this thing consistently shows us that it continues to go down in price over time. But is anything changing here? Maybe Market Cipher B might be able to show us some change in trend here. I do see higher lows here on the momentum. Okay. So higher lows here, although you have seen lower prices, that could be bullish divergence. Let me just pull up my regular RSI here real quick here to see if there is bullish divergence there. We got a low here on the RSI of like 25.8 here, and then what, 26.96. So you are making higher lows ever so slightly, and still making lower lows on the price. So yeah, you do have bullish divergence showing up here on RSR. That could be a trend reversal. That could be what you need to see for a bottoming out here on RSR. And what the hell is this? Look at this candle wick here on Friday. This thing topped out, got as high as like 9,400 is what we're gonna call it. But it also got as low as 3,000 on Friday. And it still went down like 29% on that red candle. Yikes. Then the next day after that, on Saturday, it went up 14%, then 9%, and then 18% the following days after that. A little crazy there. Not sure how we're going to game plan this out. However, look at this, what we're doing right now on the daily candle for RSR. You're kind of making almost like a hammer candle, which is a price reversal candle. Usually you see this at the bottom of a downtrend. Like this would have been nice to see at like around here on Saturday, but you're getting that here on Tuesday. And this is just showing a lot of buying pressure, okay? Usually this is a reversal candle out of a downtrend. but you just started a new uptrend here, and now you're getting a hammer candle. So what this is showing is that the sellers are not able to push this thing down, and the buyers are stepping in and forcing the sellers, the bears, to get out of the market, hit their stop losses, and we could see this thing go up to higher prices here. If it does go to higher prices here, I mean, you got the 50 and the 100 right above you at like 76.50 and 7,500. I think that should be where you should target for now on your if you're in a long on RSR. Obviously, put the stop loss where you feel like it's acceptable here. I would have to probably go into the smaller time frame, see if there's something on the 1 hour time frame, but like, I think a 5% stop loss is not too bad here. And then if you just get up to push this thing up to that 50 moving average at 76.58, you got a 23% gain for a 5% stop loss, and your risk reward ratio is like 4.69 for those that know. On the 1 hour time frame, though, you know, where do we put the stop loss? We put the stop loss kind of like at 58.80. If you're using the 1 hour time frame, I'd probably put the stop loss below 200 moving average. We could come back down. I'm not sure if getting in right now is a good entry. Maybe wait later on this afternoon, see if this thing comes back down to the 200 moving average. Then you could buy at like 5,600. And then put your stop loss a little bit below the 200 moving average. You'd probably put the stop loss below the low of on Tuesday here, where we, you know, Tuesday morning when we got down as low as like 53.96. So I would try to, like, you know, obviously the move has been made here, but if this thing does come back and revisit the 200 moving average in the 1 hour time frame, I would buy there at 5,600, maybe even some more at the 100 moving average at like 5,500. Stop loss at like 5,300. And if you're wrong, you're not really risking too much to enter this trade. There might be something wrong here. This might end up becoming like a double top here, where this thing decides to just come on down to lower prices, and then if it is going to lower prices, you can buy at lower prices. But, you know, buying right now, I mean, it's a little bit risky to be buying right now on RSR. Hopefully you're in profit right now, and you're moving your stop losses into profit. But yeah, buying right now, this could turn into a double top on the 1 hour time frame. Just be on the lookout for that for RSR here. All right. So we looked at RSR. We got now take a look at Pepe and ZBCN, and let me see what you guys are saying here on TikTok. You're welcome, CC. You're welcome. Richard wants to take a look at Tau. Alright, I will look at Tau after Pepe. And then we'll look at ZBCN after that. Alright. Let's get back into it here. Pepe. Let's take a look at Pepe. I think I have it on my watch list here. Let's see where it is. Should be in my meme coin list. Yep, Pepe. John, you want me to stay in the 1 hour time frame or the daily time frame for Pepe? You know, I'll start off on the daily time frame, and then we'll walk it down to the 1 hour time frame here. But Pepe currently trading at 745, down 5%. Clearly disappointing investors who got in March and April this year. You're pretty much back at the same prices that you were in March and April. So a lot of these people, they saw Pepe go up during the summer, only for it to get round trip and come back to where they bought it at here in March and April. So not good, no bueno. But for those who are getting in now, I mean, you have previous price action to work with here. You're basically getting in at the same good deals that people did in April earlier this year. Okay. But this is what was disappointing about Pepe, is that you were making lower highs here all throughout the summer, and you struggled to make higher lows. You were kind of making higher lows, and then you violated that higher low, you know, theory around like September 25th here, Then you tried to, like, you know, bring yourself back up, got rejected off the 200-day moving average. Not only did you get rejected off the 200-day moving average once and then twice, but then you kind of got rejected here again, third time on October 6th, and that was the nail in the coffin. And that around October 7th, Pepe got sent down to the netherworlds here. And this was before we had the dip in Bitcoin on Friday. And then Thursday was not a good day either. And then Friday was the nail in the coffin. For anybody that had any hope here on Pepe, you lost like 27% on this asset here. That's a very steep drop. It even got worse than that, because it got down. The candlewick low here on Coinbase came down to, like, we saw Pepe get down to 500. 501. You closed out not at that level. You closed out at 671. But now, I mean, you're doing a very meager recovery here in the daily time frame. I think a lot of people have been traumatized over the weekend here, being involved in Pepe coin. And now people are just licking their wounds right now, trying to see, can Pepe get at least back up to this uptrend that it was trying to start back here in June. Okay, higher low that got violated. Can you get back up here and redeem yourself and get back up to that uptrend line there? I don't know. This was very disheartening and sad to see, in my opinion here. Let's get into the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. I mean, you're trying to put in the work to, like, do a recovery. You got the higher lows, higher high, and this is a higher low possibly being formed this morning here. Now you just want to continue making higher highs and make a case that you can be somewhat bullish on this asset. Well, I wouldn't be officially bullish until we get above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. That's sitting at 848. If you get up to 848, you're doing pretty alright for yourself. But initially, don't be surprised if you get up to that 200 moving average and get rejected. Make another higher low and then try to come up above that 200 moving average in a more convincing fashion, where you can get above the 200 moving average, and then you can also get above this yellow line, which was what your uptrend was trying to do here. I think, you know, you see Pepe back at like 900, you know, between yeah, basically 900 to 1,000. I think you're back in business where this could all be just one bad dream. This could be like a bear trap, a fake out, or whatever you want to call it. And this was just one bad dream, and Pepe could just move up to higher prices here. But you got some work to do here on Pepe. You got to get back up to like 900, in my opinion here. 900. And then you could be, you know, a little bit more confident in being in Pepe for a long. Alright, moving on from Pepe, we'll take a look at Tau. Let's see how Tau's doing. Tau's actually up today, 4.2%. That's good to see. 466 bucks. Seems like the AI cryptocurrencies are getting some love and attention again. Especially after this the dip that we got. Maybe the venture capitalists are taking advantage of the fact that we got a dip this weekend. And yeah, I mean, I'm in a trade in Co-AI, and I'm waiting for 10 bucks here, and this thing is at 920 right now, so making money on that at the least. Thank God. Just continue moving my stop loss into profit, and then it's either I'm gonna get stopped out in profit or I'm gonna get $10 as my take profit. Anyways, going back to your request here on Tau, let's go into the daily time frame on Tau. So yeah, Tau's been also making lower highs here all throughout the summer on the daily time frame. And Tau was kind of like almost in like a descending triangle. If I can, you know, kind of point this out here, but you were kind of in an uptrend here on Tau. But you also had the lower highs here. And this is very interesting, because if this is like a descending triangle, you're getting towards the end of the descending triangle, and you're getting, I mean, you got a drop here on Friday where you got as low as $200. Wow, on Coinbase Exchange. Then the next day you were as low as like 277 on Saturday, and then someone said let's throw some money into Tau. Tau went up 28% on Sunday, and then it went up another 16% on Monday. And today you're getting some more bullish follow through. I feel like the venture capitalists, the smart money, those that got the money, they recognize this as a good play on AI and crypto, and they're putting their money to work on Tau right now. And where could Tau go? Where could Tau go next? If I do a Fibonacci, I'm gonna draw a Fibonacci on this. Starting from the highs here back in May, down to the lows in April. So you're kind of coming up against this 786 retracement at $460. You're already at it. The next levels to get up to is 539, which you got to like 540 in May. And if you can get past 540 on Tau, then the next level to look for is this 1272 at 639, and then a 1618 at $766. Those could be your take profit targets in the long term for Tau. As of now, I mean, Tau has caught some bids, so I don't know if you want to get in now. It's kind of like a risky trade. You might want to look for a pullback, but you kind of almost did get a pullback earlier today. This thing came as low as like 382. If the thing was to pull back again, then maybe it comes down to the downtrend here, this downtrend line, and then gets support off of the moving averages at like 364. So I just, you know, if you missed on the trade, if you don't have any bit sensor or Tau, I would be careful trying to get in on a green candle like right now. Maybe do a partial position, like 25% of what you're willing to put in, just to have some skin in the game. But I'd be looking to buy back in again if this thing does pull back down to like below $400, to like 360 or 380. I'd be looking to buy right here if it does come down to this level for Tau. But you do you, not financial advice. Never financial advice. This is just my opinion. I'm here to educate and entertain you if I can. Let's look at ZBCN now for John 3:16. Actually, I got it on my watch list to see what it is doing here. ZBCN. Where are ya? Where's ZBCN? I knew it is. Yeah, there it is. Alright. ZBCN. Currently trading at 41,500. Down slightly today, 0.5%. Is ZBCN a buying opportunity? Well, I'm looking at the daily time frame. We have this Fibonacci that I pulled from the top here at 71,000 to the bottom here at like 19,000. And ZBCN has been respecting the levels here. Kind of got a little bit of a double top here from the golden pocket, sitting at like 51,000 and over here at like 53,000. So you got the double top, then you got sent down to the netherworld here. And of course on Friday was a bad day for a lot of cryptocurrency investors. This thing got as low as 25,290. Lost the 200-day moving average, but the good thing is you didn't stay below the 200-day moving average. You closed above the 200-day moving average. Thank God. Whew. Wipe that sweat off your forehead. Okay. So you still have a fighting chance here to stay above the 200-day moving average. If you lose the 200-day moving average, then I have to be bearish. I probably put my stop loss below the 200-day moving average, knowing that things could get a lot worse if we lose that red line there, that 200-day moving average. Sitting at like 34,400. Don't go lower than that, please. You can put your stop loss at like 33,000. And yeah, just know, like, you know, you're wrong. You're wrong about being in ZBCN if this thing can't stay above 33,000. Okay? But if we're able to actually stay above 33,000 and we're actually able to cast some bids here, then, you know, the T has been respected to like a T here. Like, look at this. Yesterday, this candlewick high got as high as like 45,216. That's right where your .5 retracement's at. Okay, the .5 retracement's at 45,280, and you came up to like that level yesterday. So that's the next level for the day traders. They're trying to get in, maybe at 41,000, take profit at 45,000. But you probably want to look for something more juicy than that for the swing trades and the longer term day trades here. Let's see if we get back up to 51,000 and 53,000 as your golden pocket. That is the level to look for again, which could get sold off, and maybe instead of a double top, you make a triple top. But hey, I mean, if you're taking profit at this area, you see that on the chart here with the Fibonacci here. It has been respected before with these candle wicks. You know that people are going to sell at this area, so maybe you should think about selling at that area. Okay. And then if we can get past that, then, you know, we'll see if we can get up to that 60,000 area at the .786 retracement, which got rejected here in August 7th here. But one level at a time. We are targeting the golden pocket to the upside here. And on the downside, we're hoping to stay above the 200-day moving average, 34,490. And that's your ZBCN. And Crypto Jedi, Crypto Jedi is in the chat, and I believe that is my buddy Ozzy is checking me out here. But guys, let's see. Let me just give a shout out to Ozzy since he keeps showing up here. Let's see, Ozzy, Crypto, Ozzy. Was it Ozzy the Goat? Something like that. Yeah, the Crypto Goat. This is another guy that you guys should try to follow here. I know he's trying to start up a new channel that is dealing with more with conspiracy theories, but for his crypto stuff, you could check out Ozzy the Crypto Jedi, and I believe he's still putting up some videos on here on this channel, but he's trying to build up his other channel, the conspiracy channel here. And what is that? I think it's like Down the Rabbit Hole is the conspiracy channel for Ozzy. Yeah, this is his other channel here that he's building up, and he goes live. He does live streams with this other girl here, Jessie, and you guys might want to give him a look because they talk about some interesting stuff, especially now that we're in Halloween. They're talking about like haunted houses and stuff like that. They talked about Annabelle the doll the other day. That was pretty cool to watch. And they'll talk about like aliens and UFOs and the moon bases and whether or not we actually landed on the moon and stuff like that. But yeah, this is another good, interesting channel to get into. I'm a little curious. What is the story says? Let's see. Let's take a look at the story.
Bells must hurt the aliens.
Bells must hurt the. That is actually a theory.
Maybe it hurts their whole.
So yeah, there's Ozzy and there's Jessie.
Good job, Shelly. That is a great theory.
Or they're like Krampus and they can be trapped inside one.
Or they're terrified of them and they go away.
And I think they're talking about aliens and stuff like that. Once more.
That's an interesting.
But I'm gonna have to go check out some of their recent content.
If you like this show, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, follow, share, all the different things. And
yeah, listen to Ozzy, like, follow, and share. And that's what I'm doing right now for ya, Ozzy. All right. Okay. I want to see how my my trades are doing on Mexi with Co-AI. Co-AI, I got in at like 590 yesterday. I spotted that trade pretty well. We're at like 896 right now, up 56% today. I thought I saw us at like 920 a few minutes ago. We got as high as 970. Oh my god, we almost hit my target of 10 bucks. I took some partial profit around like 850 earlier this morning. But man, let me see. Let me check my VPN, see if my VPN's alrighty. See if I can do Mexi here. Beam me up, Scotty. Load me up, Scotty. Mexi, what are you doing? You're like taking forever here. Let's get it, Oh, I gotta log in. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to flip the screen over here for you guys. Flip the camera. I'm gonna take a little slight break here. Alright, let's see. Where's my be right back? There, right? I'm still with you guys. I'm just trying to log into the account right now. Yeah. Oh man, they always do this login information stuff here. Alright, we're almost there, guys. Hey, stop it with this nonsense. Alright. Alright, almost there, guys. Alright, I'll go ahead and try to flip the camera now. And then for my YouTube guys, I'm gonna bring you guys back on board here. Alright, yep, so there we go. I'm in the Mexi account now. I'm in a long on Co-AI from last night, and a 5x long here on Aerodrome Finance that I got into this morning. I'm down a little bit on the Aerodrome, waiting for that one to start cooking, but the Co-AI trade up 528%. Look at this ridiculous stuff here. Got in at $5.91, and right now it's trading at $9. 10x long, up 528%. I think by the time I'm done with this trade, if it does hit 10 bucks, I'll be up 600%, 630% somewhere. Last time I checked. Let's see. On the take profit stop loss. Yeah, I'll be up 692% if it gets up to 10 bucks. And yeah, my stop loss is fine as well. Well, that's how I got paid today. Early this morning. Oh man, I have to go back into. I want to get into that Co-AI. Co-AI, and I put this up on my Discord last night, guys. I was trying to tell you guys in my Discord, you guys should come join the Discord. I kind of made a joke like, should I make this a signals group? But yesterday, last night, I was talking about Co-AI. I was like, hey guys, Co-AI looks like a nice setup for a long right now. And I was talking about that when it was at like 593. I even put up a screenshot. And then I said like, hey guys, Co-AI is cashing those bids. This thing was trading at $6.20. And then of course it started moving up to like 676. And then, I just showed you guys like, hey, I'm up 138% on my Co-AI, and I just moved my stop loss to break even for now. Not a bad call. Yeah, Co-AI was the one to look for last night. And then of course this morning I'm like, hey, I left that Co-AI trade open from last night. I took partial profits and I'm waiting for $10. And then of course I let you guys know when I'm going live here. Oh, John 316's you over there teasing me about the Latinas. I'm glad you love them. Seems like you love them more than I do, but that's also saying something if that's the case. Oh boy. Alright. So Co-AI. One of the cool things about Mexi Exchange is that they have, like, if you're not sure, like, why is this thing going up in price, they have artificial intelligence to help you like figure out like why is Co-AI rising up in price, and it gives you some responses here. It'll analyze it for you, give you some bullet points, some key points to pay attention to. It says here that the key points is Co-AI currently trading at 913. The short-term bullish bias is reflected in consistent long to short ratios above 2.0, indicating strong trader confidence. Macro environment factors, risk assets due to lower than expected PPI and a weak U.S. housing data, fueling potential inflows into crypto. They give you some more bullet points here about the PPI and stuff like that. Technical factors, okay. The long-short ratio showing that regular traders and smart money, they're all suggesting that everything is skewed to the longs right now. Funding rate is also favoring the buyers. I actually got paid, even though I didn't close out the trade. They were actually paying me to be in the trade on the funding rate, so that was pretty cool to see. And then you got some risk here, you know, just like everything else, there are risks. They're saying that you should be bullish on Co-AI, and this is your short-term strategy. Your entry zone 890 if you're gonna get in now. Stop loss at 870. Take profit at 940 for those who are trying to get in. Then you got a mid to long term strategy, which is helpful if you're like swing trading it or spot trading it. And then they give you like some ideas here, but like, yeah, this is pretty cool on Mexi. They give you like AI to help you figure out whether you should be bullish or bearish on the trade. But I don't really need AI. This is just, you know, kind of like preaching to the choir about why we should be bullish on Co-AI. I just need to hear it from like somebody else. But like, I saw last night, you know, that we were, you know, on the time frame here, the 15-minute time frame, we were maintaining an uptrend here, okay? And then what I liked was I saw that we came in, almost created a double bottom here, okay? We came up sharply. We showed that, yes, we respect the TA. We got knocked down off the 200 moving average, created a higher low, which is even better than doing a double bottom. And then I was like, all right, I think this thing has the juice. But then I also looked at the oscillators here, right? I looked at, I got to turn on my other indicator here, my market cipher B. I was looking at market cipher B, right? And I saw that, you know, we had money flow starting to curve back up and increase here last night. We also had some green buy dots giving you some confirmation here on the 15-minute time frame that it was okay to buy at 2 o'clock in the morning here. Okay, some of you might be sleeping around the time, 2 o'clock a.m. Eastern time here. But hey, you know, you gotta do it. You know, sometimes you gotta burn that midnight oil to find these buying opportunities here. All right. Clearly, it already told you that we bottomed right over here last night at like 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. And you had a bunch of green buy dots showing up right where the buy zone bars are at. So this was all good stuff for me to see last night to get me excited about Co-AI. Of course, we had that red dot that came in. That was the little, you know, rejection off the 200 moving average from last night. And then going into the 1 hour time frame, like 1 hour time frame was even better because the 1 hour time frame was showing me like bottom, okay? Money flow's curving up, momentum is curving up. And then of course you're starting to see it play out here where red turns into green at 4 or 5 a.m. I was sleeping at that time. I woke up to being up in gains. And then of course here we are. And this thing is, if it still keeps increasing, I can still stay in the trade here. But I got my take profit at 10 bucks. I don't get too greedy. But hey, you know, we almost hit 10 bucks like 30 minutes ago while I'm doing this live stream here with you guys. We came up to like 970. And the reason why I'm targeting 10 bucks is I don't just pull out of my ass. I actually was looking at the Fibonacci here at 618, 1036, 1089. And I put $10 as an even number. I don't know if it's going to actually get to 1036 or 1089, but I was like, you know, when I typed in the take profit, I was like, you know, first take profit is going to be 0.5 retracement around like 841, which I already hit this morning. And then second take profit is going to be $10. Why not? It's like next to the 618. Okay. But like zooming out on the daily time frame here, you know, I pull out that fib. You know, this is how I did my trade here. I pulled a fib going from like 1669 is where we saw this thing trading as high on Sunday, October 12th here. And I pulled that fib all the way down to like 13.5 cents is where we were trading at. We got down to like 13.5 cents, I believe. I have to zoom in a little bit, but yeah, we got down to like 13.5 on Friday when this thing first started trading on Mexi Exchange, Friday, September 26th. So I literally went from the very bottom to the very top when I pulled the fib. And, you know, pulling that fib, you know, I got the 0.5 at 841 and 0.618 at 1036. I was like, first take profit target, second take profit target. And I see Duality C's in the chat. Good to see you, bro. And then I see DZ's in the chat as well. Says, let's take a look at Toshi and Pudgy Penguins. Those are some good ones to take a look at. Sure, I can do that. And then going into my TikTok stream here. Let me just see what you guys are saying on TikTok. And we got Tariq saying, Damian, why did the market pull back hard? So the market pulled back on Friday. I know that it pulled back on Friday because Donald Trump was talking about putting 100% tariffs on China. But Bitcoin was already kind of looking a little bit troubling last week. Okay? And also the stock market as well. It's not just Bitcoin, also the stock market. But, you know, last week, right? Let's see. We topped out on Monday at $126,000. We had some red candle, green candle, red candle here. But we weren't carrying the momentum that we needed to go to higher prices. And, you know, one could say that, yeah, Bitcoin went to 126K. But that's like a slightly marginally higher high than what we did here in August when we were at 124K. Which is also slightly marginally higher than what we did here in July of 2025 at 123K. The bears could say that this is like a triple top. You got first top, second top, and a triple top. And that was a little bit concerning to see on the daily time frame. Then you pull up the money flow here. You know, Bitcoin, yeah, money flow was coming in the beginning of October, but then we kind of topped out around Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. And then you had a red dot that showed up on Thursday, even before Donald Trump said anything on Friday. You got a red sell dot saying that the money flow just wasn't increasing like it needed to do for us to go to higher prices. And then the momentum, the blue wave started coming down, and then the money flow, the green wave here started coming down Friday going into Saturday in this weekend. And even now, like right now, we still have money flow is in the red right now, but it's not as bad as it was back here in September. We had money flow a lot worse than it is right now, even though it felt like, oh my god, what the hell hit us on Friday, right? But the money flow is not as bad as it was last month. So there still is a little bit of hope, a little bit of hopium for higher prices. And on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we still are making higher lows than what we did, especially if you count in candle closes here. We're making higher lows than we did here in September and the beginning of September, and also here in June. So there's still some reason to be bullish here. And as long as you're above the 2-day moving average, I can still remain bullish on Bitcoin as an asset. So yeah, the market was showing some signs of weakness around Thursday, and then Friday just didn't help. It didn't help with the tariff talk. That did not help. But Trump kind of, you know, came quick to apologize or quick to reverse course. On Sunday, he said, you know, don't worry about China, things are going to be fine. And then the market was able to get a bounce back on Monday, Sunday and Monday. All right, let's take a look at Toshi and then Pudgy Penguins. And I want to take a look at the price of gold and look at the S&P 500, or actually we'll take a look, maybe take a look at Nvidia or something like that. Josh Reem is back. Good to see you, Josh Reem. I see you in the live chat. Good to see you, bro. We're looking at Toshi right now. Currently trading at 7,820, down 5% today. And what do we got here for Toshi? Toshi on the daily time frame, you got some candle wicks below you. There are buyers that are stepping up to the plate. It seems like they like Toshi when it gets down to like 7,700. That 7,700 is a level, the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level that we should be looking at here. Seems as though that Toshi is getting some buyers, some bids over that in that area. Because anytime you come below it, you get bought up. You do got a 0.236 at 68.50. That could be an area where you can scoop up some cheaper Toshi. That's also right above the 50-day moving average, the screen line. So if you do come down to that 50-day moving average, I would try to maybe scoop up some cheaper Toshi if you're able to do so. And we're trying to ride Toshi up to higher prices. Can we get at least back up to the 618 at 9,200 or the 6.5 at 9,420? I think we kind of got rejected over there. We opened up at 9,700, so it's slightly above the golden pocket. So there might be some sell side pressure over here at that golden pocket level. And it looks like the 786 retracement also got respected as well at like 10,200. Yeah, we kind of got above that here on last Wednesday, and we opened up around there and got a little bit higher to like 10,750, but then not enough for us to stay at higher prices there. But those are the levels to look for on the Fibonacci here for Toshi to the upside. And then of course, if you're in it for the longer term, you got a 1618 at 15,429 and a 1272 at 13,280. Let's take a look at money flow here real quick. On the daily time frame, money flow is coming down, so I'd be a little bit worried if that continues. Toshi might go down to low prices on you. Let's see it on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, you are curving up on the momentum and you're curving up on the money flow a little bit, or at least you're not descending down anymore. So that's good to see. There might be some hope that buyers are stepping in right now. On the 1-hour time frame, yeah, you definitely got money starting to flow back into Toshi now. And it says you bottoming out around 7 o'clock this morning and 9 o'clock this morning on the 1-hour time frame. Momentum is curving back up. Money flow's curving back up. It looks like you're getting the beginning of a flip here, a crossover. You got a little bit of green showing here on Toshi. So this could mean that the price is going to continue going up for now. But on the 1-hour time frame, I think if the prices do continue going up, you might get rejected off that 200 moving average at 86.85. Okay? So be on the lookout for that. Get ready to start taking profit once you get between like 8,400 and 8,600. I'll be taking profit in that area. Joshua Reem says, I would highly recommend you do research on investing into these stocks. You mentioned you want to invest into some small cap AI stocks with good potential. Yeah, Nvidia is the go-to AI stock, but if there's any other AI stocks out there, I'm interested in seeing what those might be. I remember you were talking about, we were looking at some AI stocks or some like we were looking at robotic serve the other day. But Joshua, you want to take a look at Burrow and D-Pro? All right. Where is my what do I do with this thing? Where's my marker? This thing fall down on me? Well, I got you in the live chat. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell is my marker so I can write these things down and cross them off when I actually do them. That's crazy. Like, I literally had it earlier, just now. I don't know where this thing went. Oy vey. Alright, whatever. I got it in the chat. I'll just look at the chat again if I forget. But yeah, we look at Toshi, and we gotta look at Pudgy Penguins for DZ. Let's look at Pudgy Penguins. One of the better crypto meme coins that caught some bids over the year, this past year here. Get into the daily time frame for Pudgy Penguin. Pudgy Penguin currently trading at $24.95, down 5.3% today. But is this a buying opportunity for today? Let me get rid of the moving averages for now. What I don't like about Pudgy Penguins is you're making lower highs, like I've seen a lot of other altcoins do over the summer here. And then on top of that, you were making lower lows. And now you made the most extreme lowest low. Oh my god. Is that even possible? This thing came down to like 579 on Friday. What the hell? Talk about a very vicious red candle. But then buyers like, hell yeah, we'll step in. We'll buy some Pudgy Penguin at a penny, penny and a half. And they were able to close it at like 2 pennies. Then it came down a little bit more on Saturday, but then Sunday, Donald Trump said, just kidding. And we were able to do a little bit of a recovery here. This 0.32 level is a level to look out for support at 22.67. Do you have any moving average support? Yeah, you do. You got the 200 moving average. Could act as support for now. At 2 pennies, roughly. You're about 20% above that right now. But that is your support. For the guys that are using moving averages, you're hoping to stay above the 200 moving average. You're probably putting your stop loss below the 200 moving average, because if you lose 2 pennies again, then it might be game over for this rally in Pudgy Penguins. You do not want to lose 2 pennies. But if we're able to make a recovery, we'll see how Pudgy Penguin handles itself at the 0.5 retracement at 27.27. 0.027 pennies here. This was a level that was acting as support back here in the end of September. Could act as resistance as we try to get back up and recover ourselves here. And then of course the ultimate take profit zone for your day trades is going to probably be the 618 at 3 pennies and 65 at 0.033 pennies. This golden pocket area could still act as resistance. And now look what's going to happen here. You got the 50-day moving average. This green line is now confluent with the golden pocket. So the moving average trader is going to take profit at 3 pennies. And then the Fibonacci guy is going to take profit at 3 pennies. And if you do both, like me, then you are looking at this confluence and you're like, hey, you know what? Kind of makes sense to take profit at 3 pennies because you got the golden pocket there. And you also got the 50-day moving average hanging out over there. So I think 3 pennies is your take profit for Pudgy Penguins. DZ, that Market Cipher B indicator is actually free. I mean, I think you still need to have a paid subscription to TradingView. But this indicator on Market Cipher B, right, which has like the emojis too that kind of help you out, like, hey, this is your bear, like this is when you got to be bearish. And then, you know, sometimes it has like a bull, a bull for like when you should be bullish, and it shows you the bottoms and the tops. That indicator is right over here, Market Cipher B by Welo Trades. I put it as my favorite, one of my favorite indicators here. I had another Market Cipher B indicator, but I don't think that one was, it wasn't showing money flow in the green and the red. it was just showing it as yellow. Like, it would show like yellow to the downside, but also yellow to the upside. I like this one better because like the green is there when it's on the upside and the red comes in. And then you got these emojis that are kind of like, you know, a little bit cute and corny, but they actually still work. And I think I'm going to leave it there because even though it's kind of corny to put emojis, I mean, it shows you like when you should be bearish and when you should be bullish. Like a bear and a cow for a bull. So, yeah, you might want to throw that into your charts there. Let's see. Binary Beast says Zora. Is that a request for Zora? Damn, where is my marker? Oh, I put it right over here. That's what I messed up on. I got that marker right here. So we got to look at Buru. And then I'll put in Zora as another request. And then we'll look at D-Pro. Alright. So yeah, if you have TradingView and you're already a paid subscriber in TradingView, just go to Welo Trades. That indicator, Market Cipher B by Welo Trades. You can add that to your chart. And a great guy who teaches Market Cipher B, if you want to learn how to use the Market Cipher B indicator. I mean, maybe one day I'll make a video myself, but if you go check out Frankie Candle's channel here on YouTube, he has a Market Cipher for Beginners video.
Points. We can use all this information together to find,
and he talks about the Market Cipher B indicator
less noise,
and the money flow
live,
and how he trades using it.
Reason, but I generally keep it
so
on the
you
bottom.
should check
you
out
Frankie
Candles. He's like one of the best, if not, he's got to be like the best crypto trader. With one of the biggest followings out there. He has like 81,000 subscribers. Okay, and he's one of the best day traders. One of the best day trading crypto traders out there that has a YouTube channel and a big following. So yeah, you should check out Frankie Candles and check out his Market Cipher for Beginners video. Yeah, Josh Areem, I have another guy here on TikTok. He did want to look at Zora though. But we're gonna look at Buru first, and then we'll look at Zora. Buru is a stock on the New York Stock Exchange. Appreciate the stock request there. We're looking at Buru. This thing trades at 42 cents, and it's down 17% today. Wow, okay. Let's see what it does, because usually they give you information about the company. It operates as a developer and manufacturer of high power, high brightness blue lasers for welding and 3D printing. The firm offers Nubaru. Okay, so you can just read more about it, but looks like the company started in 2015 and it's headquartered in Colorado. And I'm gonna get rid of the Market Cipher B for now. We're just looking at this chart as almost as a naked chart, but we still got the moving averages on here. And I never seen this thing before, so I kind of want to see where it's been. It has been at higher prices. Oh my god. What is this? This is like a money-losing company. This thing was trading at like 400 bucks in 2022. And now we're trading at 42 cents. What are you trying to do here? The money has already been made to the downside. You should have told me about this in 2022 and I would have shorted it. But is this thing actually doing what it needs to do to become bullish again and actually start putting in some longs? Well, you know my criteria. It all comes down to the 200-day moving average, just red line. If you're above it, I can be bullish. If you're below it, then I have to be bearish. And because you are now above the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, I can actually be bullish again on this asset. All right. Let's see. Did it do what it needed to do to like bottom out? Kind of almost like a double bottom here. Let's see. We got as low as 12 cents on September 26th. And then, I don't know, like right over around in April, we got as low as like 13 cents. So in order for it to qualify as a double bottom, it has to be like 1 to 3%. I get this off of like Investopedia. And not really a double bottom because it's like a 10%, you know, move from this bottom to that bottom. It kind of looks like a double bottom, but not really. And then on top of that, you still made a lower low. You made a lower low on September 26th compared to what you did here in April. So, it makes me want to throw up a little bit. However, for some reason, you caught some bids over the last few days here in October. Enough money went into this to actually put you above the 200-day moving average. So, fascinating. Okay, fascinating that it did that. But I'm worried that, you know, just as fast as you came up, you can come down just as fast on this asset and come right back down to a 200-day moving average. I'd be more interested in buying this asset when it does get down to the 200-day moving average. When this thing gets to like 26.5 pennies, that red line, that's when I would try to throw my hat in the ring and try to buy some. Let's see what Market Cipher B has to show with all that craziness going on. So, money flow was starting to come in. It was dying down throughout September. You got the crossover here on October 1st. You got a green buy dot that came in on September 30th. So yeah, money was starting to go into this asset, and then you got the crossover, then you got the green, but now you got a red sell dot. So yeah, I'd be careful with this one, because that red sell dot came in, confirming that you might be topping out here. And I would just be waiting for this thing to come back down to the 200-day moving average. It'd be a lot more lucrative for a risk-reward ratio. Because then if it does come down to the 200-day moving average, you buy there, and then you put your stop loss below the lows here in September at like 12 cents. And you just wait, you know, see how this thing does. Are you going to make a higher low? Are you going to actually respect the 200-day moving average, use it as support, and then bounce off to higher prices? Or does this thing just violate everything and just breaks through the moving averages, comes down, and then goes lower than the low here in September, and then is still in a downtrend, making lower lows? Kind of looks like one of these old coins. A lot of these old coins look like this, you know, just breaking all the rules and losing money over time, and ugh. Alright, we'll move on from this one to Zora. Zora is currently trading at 9 pennies, down slightly today. I'm going to call this number 9306. We're on the daily time frame here for Zora. Zora did catch the bids here last Thursday, and it was actually going up while everything was going down on Friday. And then it kind of joined the party, the crash party on Saturday. But then Sunday, you caught some bids again. Went up 17%, and then up another 1.5% after that. And now here you got like the potential of like a hammer candle, which is a price reversal candle, which you would see at like, you know, after a downtrend, indicating a price reversal. But this is indicating a price reversal while you're in an uptrend, but it would be a price reversal to the upside. So like, this is interesting. This is showing me that there are some investors and traders out there that are very interested at Zora, even though it already caught some bids here and has gone up to higher prices. They won't let the sellers bring the price down any lower than 8 pennies here, and they're pushing this thing back up. So this thing is looking overly bullish just on the candles, the candle wicks and the candle structure here. But can you make another higher high? Can you get higher than what you did here on Friday when you saw this thing as like high as 12.5 pennies? And then can you get up to like what you saw here on August 24th when you're at like a little bit above 12.5 pennies? You're at like 0.127 pennies. That's another area to be looking out for. You do that, and then you can start making the case that this thing is bullish. I don't know what Zora does for a use case here, but it's looking fine. It was not looking so fine in like September, October, but somebody came in to step in and buy this thing up, and they're still buying it today. Let's look at the market cipher B real quick here. Yeah, like a bottom here in like the end of September, a bull signal here in October 4th. The last green buy dot on the daily time frame came in on October 6th here, 2 Mondays ago, last Monday. And then momentum came up violent and viciously up to the upside. Then you got that money flow crossover around Friday and Saturday here, and everything looks fine. It looks fine. Now you're just wondering, you know, when are you gonna get a red sell dot? Because when you get a red sell dot showing up, that's probably like a time to like take profit. Maybe enter short if you're willing to do so. I wouldn't really probably enter short though until you get up to like these sell bars here to the upside. Like this is like a top right here, and this is another top right here, and this was giving you like a top signal and a bear signal back here in August and the end of July here, right? So that top signal came here in July. Yeah, a little bit of a buy dot here, and then you had a red dot come in around the middle of August, and you would have avoided all this, you know, trouble for you if you listened to that red sell dot on market cipher B when it was at the red sell bars too. Right now, even if you get a red dot right now, it could be red dot then followed by immediate green dot, and then you just create a higher low and you go up to higher prices. When you see the red dot show up like near the sell bars here, these horizontal bars here, that's more of a signal that a top has been put in, a local top has been put in, and yeah, after that you can expect to see more downside when you see a red dot printing and showing up on the chart right next to these red sell bars here. But I think Zora's fine for now. It'll probably go up to higher prices. Yeah. I think the market's trying to recover. Let's see, what is Bitcoin doing right now? On 112,489. I think when I started the stream, it was at like 112,000 now. Let's see what the 15-minute time frame looks like. Seems like we've been catching some bids here. I went live at like 12 o'clock. Oh, I guess Bitcoin's at the same price, a little bit lower than what I started off at, so I take that back. On the 50-minute time frame, looks like Bitcoin is kind of flagging out a little bit, trying to make a bull flag here. We shall see. We shall see. All right, moving on from Zora, we got to take a look at D Pro. And then let me catch up on the chat here. What is this? All right, thank you for letting me know I'm protected here. All right. Yeah, let's look at D Pro. D Pro, what's is it D Pro? Is this a stock? It is a stock. Dragonfly Incorporated on the NASDAQ. Get into the daily time frame here. This thing is trading at $13.44, down 2.4% today. This is looking a little bit more promising than Zora and Buru. But this one has also seen better days back in like 2021. This thing was trading at like 277 bucks. You're really digging through the bottom of the barrel for these stocks here, Josh Sharif. But I do like the fact that these assets that you're trying to ask me about, they are getting above the 200-day moving average. So that is good to see. Kind kind of looks like a lot of these altcoins, and a lot of these altcoins could potentially end up doing what this stock is doing here once it gets above the 2-day moving average, especially if they have some strong, solid use cases on them. Looks like he got above the 2-day moving average in a convincing fashion here in June and July of this year, making a higher low. Obviously, you're making a higher high again here, so that's good to see. Clearly above the 2-day moving average here. So I am worried about this thing being overbought right now. Let's see what Market Cipher B has to say. Oh yeah, yep. Market Cipher B says you're topping out right now. You're overbought. And this is like taking information from the RSI and stochastic RSI and putting it all in like one indicator here. And yeah, your momentum is clearly topping out. Your and it's a double top too. Look at that, like double top. And then you're above the red cell bars here. So I think this thing is going to go down more likely than it is to go up. And you'll be lucky if it just goes sideways instead of going down. So I'd be careful with this one. If it does come back down, we would expect it maybe to revisit the 21 EMA, which it hasn't been at the 21 EMA since September 8th. Right now the 21 EMA is at 867, so this thing could drop down to 867 on you. And it wouldn't be surprising to the ones who are paying attention to the indicators here. Another area that it could drop to for those who don't use the 21 EMA, but if you're using the 50 moving average, you got that green line sitting at 494. If it does that, I mean, that's a damn shame. But you would be buying at the same level that other people were buying here in like September and the end of August. So I think these people here are just going to provide some support for you if you do come down to that level. They're not going to click the sell button unless we lose $4. Then they might come join the selling party and cause more downside for this asset here. But yeah, I think we're going to go down, not up on Dragonfly. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, then you would just, you know, I mean, you are in an uptrend. Can you just maintain that uptrend? Can you continue doing that and go up to like $18 maybe by the end of Halloween here? I'll quickly do a Fibonacci, see what the Fibonacci extensions have to say. You got a 1272 that says this could get up to like $17.34, and then you got a 1618 that says $20.98. You're pushing your luck, but that's another area to be selling this thing if it does get up to that area. And that's D-Pro for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at gold and silver, because I did put that in the title for my YouTube stream. So we're gonna look at gold. Gold is still making money. Up 39, 40 bucks here. Up 1%. Making new all-time highs all over again on this Tuesday, October 14th of 2025. You saw it get as high as like 41.79. I mean, what else is there to say with gold, you know? At some point, the party will come to an end, and if it does, it will probably come down to this 21 EMA at 38.55. But I mean, this 21 EMA is also going up with the price of gold, and you know, if gold's going to keep going up to like $4,300 or $4,400 and then top out, then by that point, if it does drop down to the 21 EMA, the 21 EMA might be like $4 grand, and then that's the higher low for gold. But I have done previous Fibonacci analysis here when we saw gold top out at like 3,500 bucks in April. And it's showing that the 1618 is 4,099 or 4,100 bucks. We've already hit that target, so then what's next for gold? I mean, are we going to go to the 2618 at $5,000 gold? I think some people are already talking about $5,000 an ounce gold. Could be a possibility here. And then there's a 3618 that says $6,000 gold could be the next target. We shall see. We shall see, but wow. Seems like Peter Schiff was right, huh? If you guys will listen to Peter Schiff, he's been talking about being in gold for like the last like 8 years, I think. He's been talking about it ever since 2018. Okay, back in like 2018. This is even before, you know, COVID-19 and the little, you know, the panic that we had back then. But you know, gold around like in like 2020, gold was at like $1,600, $1,500. And then I remember listening to Peter Schiff in 2018 talking about getting into gold, and in like August of 2018, gold was at like $1,200. And now we're talking about like $4,000 gold. So gold's finally getting the bids. You know, people were talking about, you know, getting out of gold to go into Bitcoin in 2021, but it looks like, you know, this year was gold's year, and it could still be Bitcoin's year. I think this year has been the year for Bitcoin and gold, but gold just doing a little bit better. Yep, gold outperformed Bitcoin this year. I mean, the year still hasn't ended yet. If they lower interest rates, some of that money in gold could leave gold to go into like the stocks and the stock market. And if Russia chills out and actually comes to the negotiation table, and they do like a ceasefire with Russia and Ukraine, that'll probably take some money out of gold too. Because then there wouldn't be that much of fear going on. But yeah, you have to think about it, guys. This year has been a crazy year in 2025. We've had, you know, Russia, Ukraine, obviously, but then we had Israel attacking Iran, America attacking Iran. And then we had Trump threatening 100% tariffs and stuff like that on China. Who knows if China's gonna do something? Then I think there was like there was an instance where Pakistan and India were about to go at it with each other. So you can understand, like, with all this turmoil and conflict and tension all around the world, the price of gold responded accordingly by going up to higher prices. And then, of course, you know, we got the government shut down, and the government can barely afford to keep its doors open, and they're gonna have to spend more money to keep the government open, and it's reflecting in the price of gold because of that. Yeah. Let's take a look at a stock here, Nvidia. You guys probably all heard of Nvidia by now. Nvidia currently trading at $182.34. Nvidia has been getting, I believe, some deals with like OpenAI. It says Nvidia plans to invest $100 billion in OpenAI's data centers as competition rises. Nvidia reported $12 billion in revenue for 2024, targeting a $60 to $90 billion market by 2027. So there's basically saying they're expecting to grow 4 to 8-fold on their revenue about 2 years from now in 2027. So Nvidia is a good stock to get into. Their next earnings report looks like it's coming out November 19th. Wednesday, November 19th. Right around my birthday. I'm a November baby. Yeah. Nvidia. Looking good. Looking like this could be a buying opportunity, because every time we come down to the 21 EMA, we don't really go below it. We have gone below it. Like here in September, we did go below the 21 EMA. But usually, like, buying at the 21 EMA is a good area to buy, because this thing usually stays above the 21 exponential moving average here. It's been doing that all year long. Okay. Yeah, we had like the little scare here with, you know, the Liberation Day tariffs in April kind of sent the markets down, but ever since then it's been up and to the right on Nvidia. And Nvidia is like, I mean, if you're a moving average trader, I would suggest putting in the 21 exponential moving average on your chart here, because if you're just using the 50-day, the 50-day ain't really helping you out because we're clearly above the 50-day, and we're not really getting bounces off the 50-day. We're getting bounces off the 21 EMA, which I think you should add to your charts here if you're a moving average trader. You should add that white line that I add to my chart. Also, the 200-day, 100-day below you, clearly below you. But if we lose this 21 EMA, then I would expect support on Nvidia at that 50-day moving average, and that's sitting at 167 bucks. That's an even better deal than getting into Nvidia. I already have Nvidia right now, and if I was inclined to buy some more, I think today's a good day because you're getting it at the 21 EMA. But maybe you might be able to get some cheaper Nvidia at $167 with that 50-day moving average just sitting at. And that's kind of confluent with like the previous price action here. We were at like 164 bucks here on the first week of September here. So we'll pay attention. We'll see how Nvidia does. I'm a little curious. Does anybody know what Jerome Powell had to say this afternoon? Because I believe he went and did a speech on 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time here. Laureen Holly is asking about Co-AI. I actually did look at Co-AI earlier in the live stream. I'm in a trade on Co-AI. It's like my best trade this morning. I got into it last night because I saw a lot of opportunity there. But yeah, we can take a look at Co-AI real quick. And no, your messages aren't disappearing. Let me just check to make sure my VPN is not messing things up here. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back with you guys. Yeah, Laureen, I actually talked about Co-AI on my Discord. You should come join the Meet Damian Discord. If you're not in it, just send me a message. I'll message you back the link to join my my Discord here. But I was talking about Co-AI last night. Like I said, like around 12:07 a.m. Eastern time here. I say, hey guys, Co-AI looks like a nice setup for a long right now. I said that when Co-AI was at 593 last night. And then I said like Co-AI is catching some bids on a night when Bitcoin is going down. I said that when like Co-AI was at 620. Then I told people that I moved my stop loss to break even, and I was in that Co-AI long. It's a 10x long. I got in at $5.91, and I was up 138% last night before I went to bed. Then I woke up this morning. I said, hey guys, I left that Co-AI trade open from last night and I took partial profits and I'm waiting for 10 bucks. And I was up like 447% when I said that earlier this morning. That was when Co-AI was at $8.50 this morning. And then of course there's me. I announced when I went live today. This is my live stream to join. And yeah, let's take a look to see how my Co-AI trade is doing right now. Looks like we're at 9 bucks for Co-AI. Hey, what is this? This thing is all jacked up a little bit, but yeah, I'm up 530% on Co-AI. It's my best trade so far. I had a little bit more before I took the partial profits here, but yeah, this is what it looks like here for Co-AI. I'm up 538% on that trade, and I take profits at 10 bucks, right? And if it does that, then I'll be up 692% on that trade. And even if I get stopped out at 8 bucks here, I'll be up 353%. But I already took profits on that, so I did lock in some gains here. But let's look at the Co-AI real quick here on TradingView, and I think we'll end the stream on that because I'm coming up on the 2-hour mark here. I gotta hit the gym after this, guys. But here on Co-AI, trading at $9.10. The reason why I had a $10 take profit target on this trade is because that's the 618 golden pocket at 1036. I just typed in 10, but you know I could have typed 1036 if I really want to take it to that level there. And I took profit earlier this morning, you know, partial profit at that 0.5 retracement at $8.41. So, you know, I'm you know, trying to stick to some rules here, trying to stay profitable in the trade. Don't want to get too greedy, so I took a little bit of profit here, and I'll take some more profit. I'll take the rest of the profit at 10 bucks. And I'll just see what, what the charts look like, going forward, going into tomorrow. I gotta take it day by day here. But yeah, Laureen, if you're not in the Discord, go ahead and ask me on TikTok. Message me. Follow me if you haven't followed me. But yeah, message me and I'll send you the link to join the Discord so we can share what trades we're trying to get into at any given moment. But yeah, looking at OpenAI on Market Cypher B, let's get into the 1 hour chart here. Yeah, last night it was bottoming out, and we get a green buy dot here at 2 a.m. last night saying get into CoAI if you haven't done so already. And then the money flow started increasing this morning, and I'm waiting for a red sell dot to come in saying that, hey, time to take profits, but I think I could still stay in this trade because the red sell dot hasn't come in yet. We also haven't hit the red sell bars either. Because, when you hit the red sell bars, and you get the red dot, that's the time to get out if you haven't taken any profit. Okay, and it tells you top signals right here, bearish signals here. But I think we're just recovering right now, and I think we could continue to be in this trade to see if it does hit that $10 mark that I'm trying to get to. But yeah, that's going to be it for this live stream here, guys. We talked a little bit about some stocks here. We talked about some gold, cryptocurrencies, of course. What trades I'm in. CoAI was the trade to be in last night. I think you can still be in it and take it to 10 bucks. Just continue moving your stop losses up into profit here, or break even if you're just starting out. And I think this one's the one to be in for now. But I'm also in Ethereum and Solana trade as well. Let's see how those are doing right now. Okay, I'm up about $100 on my Solana trade and $72 on my Ethereum trade. I got into Ethereum earlier this morning at $39.65. I got into Solana at $195. So making money on that exchange as well. Cool stuff. All right, guys. I will see you on the next live stream tomorrow. I can't do the normal time slot between 12 to 2 p.m. because I'm going to be at an appointment. So we'll just plan on seeing me tomorrow, maybe around like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. because I'm going to try to do my appointment, go to the gym, and then I'll do a live stream. So yeah, we'll do maybe a 4 or 5 p.m., maybe 6 p.m., somewhere around that time frame for a live stream tomorrow, guys. But I thank you guys for coming out to the live stream. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out, and pray for Bitcoin. I think we'll be all right, guys, here, but we got to start seeing some more money flowing into the market, to be honest with you, and we'll just have to see what those catalysts are. As long as Donald Trump doesn't say anything about tariffs again, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine for a recovery later on this week. But we shall see. We shall see. Take it one day at a time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.